Chink, chink. Very professional slate. Well, how does it bowl in this video?
Let's find out.
What's up, friends? My name is Miranda, and this is Miranda on the River. I have laid out all of my backpacking gear in front of me because I want to show you what's in my pack. This has been a highly requested video. I thought I would take some time in this video to show all of you what I bring, and then also show you how I pack my backpack. And let's start from the very beginning.
It's a very fine place to start.
This is my show, gosh darn. Fuzzy cat coming in. Hello.
You're out there.
So let's start with my sleep system. So for my sleep system, I have the Nemo Disco 30 sleeping bag. I love this sleeping bag because it's got a little bit more space in it. I have room to kind of roll over if I want to. It's also really lightweight and packable, and the temperature rating is pretty good for me. And if I need more warmth, I can add a liner. And then for my sleeping pad, this is the Nemo Tensor sleeping pad. This is far and away my favorite sleeping pad that I have ever had. It's super packable. It comes with a pump sack. And yeah, I'm a huge fan of this. Another recent addition to my sleep system is the Nemo Philo Elite pillow. It's one of those items that I avoided getting for a really, really long time, and now I regret it. But this little pillow is so comfortable. The stuff sack actually stores in the pillow itself, which is awesome if you're someone like me who tends to lose everything. For tents, you've probably noticed that I've carried a lot of different tents. I have the luxury of being able to test out a variety of tents because of my job with REI. This is a really great tent for when I'm backpacking with just me and my dog. This video is not sponsored by Nemo, but I'm realizing there's an awful lot of Nemo stuff. And as it turns out, they make good Next, I have my poop kit. So in my poop kit, I now have my Backcountry Bidet. So you put water in here, and then you aim it at your butthole after you poop, and you squeeze the water bottle, and water cleans your butthole. So, bidet. I also swapped out my really heavy trowel for the Deuce, which is a super lightweight trowel. This one's 0.6 ounces. The other thing that I have in my poop kit is toilet paper. I do carry this as an emergency backup, even though I have a bidet. Panicked toilet paper, like a panicked poop. The last couple things that I have in my poop kit are some hand sanitizer, trash bag, and then the last thing that I have are blue bags. Again, these are just an emergency thing. I feel like I carry a lot of stuff just out of fear of not having it. Another thing that doesn't go into my poop kit but lives on my pack is my Cool Cloth. This is just a pee cloth. Highly recommend these for anyone who squats when they pee, whether it's a Cool Cloth or just some kind of pee cloth. So this is my fire, fix-it, and first aid kit. Oh, my hygiene's in here too. All in one little magical bag of wonder. For my fix-it stuff, I have some gear tape, a pill bottle that has some duct tape wrapped around it. This also has my lighter in it, a little bit of string. I also have some extra paracord on the inside there. Oh, and then I also have some backup matches. My first aid kit is a little bit pathetic. This is my current first aid kit. I used to have one of those really nicely organized first aid kits that come in a little red bag. They have all your supplies in them, and they tell you when to refill it. It's just really easy to use. But I got rid of that helpful system, and I instead swapped just throwing Band-Aids into a stuff sack with some Neosporin. The last things that I have in here are just my hygiene stuff. So I have some soap, multi-towel, my little pill container, toothbrush, toothpaste. And that is my first aid, fix-it, fire, and hygiene kit.
It's like a junk drawer.
It is a junk
drawer
drawer
of your backpack.
That's exactly what that is. I have my sit pad. This makes a huge difference for sitting on rocks. I've also used this as a sleeping pad for Nala. All in all, just really practical to carry a sit pad. So this gets strapped to the outside of my bag.
Made by
Nemo. This is the Nemo chipper. Oh no. I've also just started carrying a small battery pack. So this is the Goal Zero Venter. This has been really practical for me. Its charging cord is built in to the design itself, and then it has a port on the top. It also has a flashlight. So it's like a little lantern.
Holy crap.
I know, kind of cool. I also have my sleep socks or my special socks. Right now I have a pair of hiking socks, but I'll carry whatever sock to sleep in or as just a spare in case my feet get wet. I also have my camp shoes. These are my water shoes. I like them because they have a fold flat heel. They're really small, they're really lightweight, and they can easily stuff into a pocket on my backpack. If I'm doing a longer trail where I don't think I'm gonna need to do a water crossing, I'll carry a more comfortable pair of sandals that I can just slip onto my feet at camp. And then I have my buff. This is just a standard buff from Buff. And then I have my headlamp. Mine is a BioLite headlamp. This is a rechargeable headlamp. I love this thing. It's really lightweight. Bam. Is it on? Oh yeah, and then my Whittling knife. So a lot of people have asked about my whittling stuff. I know I owe the world a video on this.
You owe the world.
The world.
The world.
Everyone has been asking for whittling. So my water filtration is the Katadyn Bee-Free filter. As you can tell, the bag is no longer attached to this. I broke the bag for my Bee-Free filter recently, and I didn't want to just buy a new bag and have the same issue happen. So instead, I got this Hydro Pack 2-liter bottle. So this is a Hydro Pack bottle. Hydro Pack is the same brand that makes the bottle that comes with the Katadyn Bee-Free, but this is 2 liters versus the 1-liter bottle that I used to have. I love this thing. It's really cool. Great. Boom. All right, we're getting down to the end of it here. This is a GPS watch, sunscreen stick, insulated jacket, ta-da! And then my sunglasses.
Hello.
I like them because they're rubber, so they don't slide down my face. The last thing out here that I wanted to talk about was my food and my bear canister. Boom. In here, I have all of my cooking and food stuff. So in my cook kit, I have my stove. This is the Snow Peak Gigapower. It's just a really tiny folding stove. And this will get screwed onto a small IsoPro canister like this one. Boom, stove. I also have my trash bag. And then I have my Sea to Summit Delta bowl. I'll use something like this to rehydrate my food. That way I only have one thing that I have to consistently wash. Plus it allows me to store leftovers in my bear canister. And then in here, I have my kettle. This is likely the most asked about piece of gear that I use in all of my videos. This is the Sea to Summit X-Pot kettle. It's just a collapsible kettle. I forgot my spork. Darn. All of this stuff will go into a stuff sack like this if I don't have space for it in my bear canister. So that is everything that I bring on all of my backpacking trips, regardless of the season. Now I will show you how I pack it into my bag. It's packing time. So this is another bag I've gotten a lot of questions about. This is the Rei Flash 55. It is a lightweight pack, but it's been really practical for me as I started to lighten my load a little bit. Oh, one thing that you might notice looking at all of my gear is that I don't have a reservoir. I had a reservoir and it started leaking. I had issues with trying to keep it clean. So I've been using Nalgene's or using my 2-liter bag from my Katadyn, and it's not a perfect system. I haven't yet figured out what I want to do next.
I don't like reservoirs. They taste like plastic.
Yeah. I think I'm also just like a compulsive drinker. I would be lying if I said that I have never worn a Camelback with a reservoir around at a party to make sure I stayed hydrated. Yeah. I'm actually going to take my sleeping bag out of the compression sack. This is a trick that I learned from one of my videographers, Chelsea. It's something that I started doing recently and I love it. Sleeping bag and sleep system always goes in the bottom of your pack. As soon as I start putting stuff on top of this, it's just going to squish it down more and more and more. And it just allows me to fill in the empty gaps. Don't need you anymore. Then my sleeping pad and my pillow. Really, I'm just trying to get the bulky stuff in here first so that I can fill in the nooks and crannies with the less bulky things. My poles, I'm going to slide down as close to the bottom of my bag as possible. And I'm going to keep them close to the back of my bag as well. Some people will store their tent poles on the outside of their pack. They'll just slide them into a side pocket and strap them down that way. But for me, this works really well. Awesome. So my bear canister, which is me full of my food, and food is super heavy. It's also one of the bulkiest things that I have. So this goes into the very middle of my pack, as close to the back of it as possible. All right. So now that I have my bear canister in my pack, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the body of my tent. There we go. Yeah, I'll put my poop kit in there. First aid kit. Air filter. Oh, my special socks. This is how I'm packing my bag right now, but sometimes this will vary as I'm on a trip. These items that are going on the top of my bag are things that I always need to be able to get to easily. And then last, I am going to take my extra layer and I'm going to put it on top here as well. Now I've got some stuff that goes on the outside. So my camp shoes, I slide on the outside pocket here. This is also where I'll put a long sleeve shirt or any extra layer that I might be taking on and off throughout the hike. In here is where you will want to keep stuff that you need to get to quickly. So for me, that is my buff, my headlamp, And then I also keep my charger in the lid of my pack. I'll keep my cool cloth up here until I use it. And then as soon as I use it, it gets hung on the outside of my bag. My hip belt pockets, for the most part, are left empty for snacks, but there are a couple things that I keep in them. First of all, my whittling knife and sandpaper, my sunscreen, and my sunglasses. I keep my sit pad on the outside of my bag because it's only good if I could access it. And then I'll wear my watch. That doesn't get packed, it goes on my body. Oh, my water bottle. Thank you. It's so cold. And that's it. That's all my stuff. Did I forget anything? I'm not exactly 100% certain of the base weight of my pack. I want to say it's like 22 pounds. What do you think? 22 pounds? Depending on how much food I'm carrying or how much water I have to carry, that weight will vary, but the base weight is about 20 pounds. There isn't really any exact science to packing your bag besides following those guidelines of sleeping bag, fluffy thing on the bottom, heavy stuff towards the middle, close to your spine, things you need to get to quickly on the top, and then other light stuff filling in the outside. Beyond that, it's totally up to you how you pack your bag. Okay, so there is a little bit of a science to it. I know that my pack probably to some of you looks really small right now, and maybe to other people it looks really massive. Just remember that wherever you're at in your backpacking journey, as long as you are comfortable carrying your pack, as long as you feel good about the gear that you have, then you're doing it right. Be safe and have fun. So that covers everything that I carry in my bag for backpacking. I will link the list of all my gear in the description below, as well as a couple of the items that I talked about in this video. If you have any questions for me about what I'm carrying or any recommendations for gear that you think I should use, let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the REI channel, and make sure you hit the notification bell, and I will see you all in the wild. Bye. I got like a butt cheek in a ditch. And another one that's like on a ledge.
Oh no.
Kind of like, it's
Try
like,
to get up and wiggle out a little bit.
there we go. Level it out.